It was supposed to be just another day. I was at work, in a rush, as always. Cold coffee on the table, eyes on the computer, a meeting in 5 minutes, and a dull pain in my lower belly. The kind that had already become routine. I didn't even complain anymore. I didn't even hear myself anymore. But that day, something inside me ripped. I stood up, staggering, walked into the bathroom, leaned on the sink. And all I remember is the sound of my body hitting the floor. My head gently bumping against the tile. The smell of disinfectant. The cold ceramic touching my skin. When I woke up, they were calling my name. "Laura! Laura, can you hear me?" The nurse asked if I had eaten, but all I could whisper was, "It's just cramps." But deep inside, I knew. It was never just cramps. I spent years hearing the same responses. "It's normal. All women go through that. Must be stress. You're just too sensitive." And every appointment I left without answers. I felt smaller, less believable, less of a woman. And time passed, with meds that didn't work, with days in bed disguised as, "I've got a cold," with nights crying in the dark, so no one would hear, until one doctor finally said the word endometriosis. It was a relief, and a kind of mourning too, because now it had a name. But it also came with a label. There's no cure. Then came the hormones, the mood swings, the loss of libido, the insomnia, the surgery, and the constant fear of never being able to carry life. But what suffocated me the most was the feeling of losing control over my body, like it was something to manage, not a home to care for. One night, with burning eyes and insomnia again, I read something that stopped me in my tracks. Endometriosis is a modern disease, but the female body has always known how to heal. And right below it, a video of a woman sitting over a clay bowl, steam rising, leaves floating in the water. She said it was an ancient womb cleansing ritual. They called it yoni steam, something indigenous, African, Asian, and Arab women had used for centuries. I laughed. Then I cried. Then I watched it again. I searched. I read. I questioned. I tried. I started small. A cup of ginger and turmeric tea in the morning. Cut out gluten and dairy. Sits baths with chamomile and rosemary at night. Castor oil massages, gentle ones, around my womb. And the hardest part? Silence. To listen to what my body had been screaming for years. The changes were slow, but real. My cycle became less violent. The pain lessened. My digestion improved. My mood stabilized, and for the first time in a very long time, I felt whole. I went after studies, and I discovered that what they called mysticism was already being researched. Turmeric reduces inflammation. Vitex helps regulate hormones. Omega-3 boosts immune response. Deep breathing activates the vagus nerve and eases pain. Endometriosis isn't just physical. It has emotional, nutritional, and energetic roots. But why had no one told me this before? Why hadn't any of the dozens of doctors ever mentioned it? Why is endometriosis treated like a sentence and not a calling? The answer came slowly. Because a woman who knows her body, who listens to her pain, who honors her story, is not profitable. She doesn't depend on expensive treatments. She doesn't remain silent. She doesn't submit so easily. Feminine wisdom has always existed, passed down in whispers, in circles, in rituals, but it was burned, silenced, ridiculed, because the female body in its full power is terrifying, and that's why they called it a forbidden cure. But it's not forbidden. It was just forgotten, or rather, erased. Today I'm still in treatment, but I'm no longer at war. Now it's a pact between me and my womb, between what modern science shows and what ancient wisdom always knew. There is no miracle, but there is reconnection. There comes a day when you stop fighting yourself and start listening, respecting, loving, and that's when the real healing begins. Do you believe this really happened? Have you lived something like this? Then leave a comment below. This video isn't just a story, it's a calling. If this touched you, it's because this message needed to reach you. Share it, spread it. Don't keep this truth just to yourself, and subscribe to the channel, but only if you have the courage, because here we speak of what they never wanted you to know. And once you hear it, there's no turning back. The cure was never forbidden. It was passed from woman to woman in silence until now.